Hi everyone, and welcome to the Yarn Journey Crochet Podcast. I am your host, Holly. I live in Virginia with my husband and my 2 kids with a cat and a dog. I just want to say welcome all new viewers. This is a podcast about crochet, yarn, and occasionally some knitting. And welcome returning viewers. Thanks for sticking it out with me and listening to all my yarny rambles and nonsense. All the show notes can be found in Ravelry, in the Ravelry group Yarn Journey Crochet, as well as in the description box below. My daughter just walked into the room. You can find me on Instagram as Yarn Journey Crochet, as well as I changed the title of the channel to Yarn Journey Crochet. So you can find me there on Instagram as that, and on Ravelry and Etsy, you can find me as Crafty Mommy Corner. They wouldn't allow me to put the S, so I had to drop the S to keep the R. My dog is whining. She wants to go out for the 3rd time within an hour. I think she wants to go chase the cat. So, buckle up, folks. Grab yourself a cup of coffee or tea or whatever you're drinking, because this is going to be a long podcast. Long. I have a lot to show you. Also, excuse me, I am a little sick, which is why I sound a little nasally. So, yeah. 1 second, I'm going to let my dog out, and I will be right back. Okay, as I was saying, grab yourself a cup of coffee, tea, water, whatever you're drinking, because this will be a long podcast. I have a lot to show you. A lot of whips, a lot of yarn, a lot of crochet and knitting books. I just have a lot to show you. Like, you can see the stack right here. That's how high this stack is. It's a stack. So, yes, let's get started. Ugh, sorry. Oh, admin. Crochet Along is starting next Sunday. Ah! Okay, we are doing the Honey Blossom Shawl by Jinty Lyons. It is a paid pattern. It is not a very expensive pattern, but we're going to show the designer some love. And it starts January 7th and goes until February 14th. So this is kind of like your Valentine's Day shawl. I will be opening up a Ravelry thread. I will be opening up a few threads later today for the cowl because it starts next Sunday. There will be a rules thread so you can see the rules, and there's no chatter. It's just there, and it's going to be, there's like no comments basically. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, just want to chat, get to know the people that you're going to be crocheting along with, there's going to be a chatter thread. And I don't think I'm going to do the FO thread yet. Actually, no, I'm not going to do the FO thread yet because there's no way. It's going to be empty for like a few weeks. So I'll probably put that in like 2 weeks in. So if someone's a really fast crocheter, probably myself.
Mom, look at my hand.
Okay, remember not to interrupt. I'm podcasting. Okay. This is the first time she's actually been down here while I podcast, so hopefully it's minimal interruptions. I'm sorry. I cut my bangs literally right before I did this podcast, and I'm finding like little flicks of hair everywhere because as I went to straighten my bangs from my Farrah Fawcett poofy hair this morning, because I washed my hair last night, I have hair that when you wash it, I get so much volume to my hair, I can make Elvis jealous. Because that stuff sticks straight up and just like flows back. Farrah Fawcett and Elvis would be jealous. That's all I gotta say. So, that's besides the point. Totally went off on that. Anyways, yes, FOs are coming up, but Crochet Along, I will have 2 threads open. I will open the finished objects probably in a couple of weeks. I'm sorry. I refreshed my coffee. Ooh. I refreshed my coffee. And because I was running low. Very, very low. And like I said, this is going to be a long, long podcast. Okay. Evos. I have one. Okay, yeah. I have one. I finished my... Okay, hold on. Is this... See, where that's thing. That makes me think that's the right hand. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's the right hand. I have to look at the tips because I did... For some reason, I closed the tips different. So, these are the big cable mittens by Jennifer Pionk. It is a paid pattern. And these are gorgeous. Ah! They're purple and they have this big, huge cable running up the side, kind of like the side of your hand. I wish it would have been like middle, but you know, what can you do? My daughter's literally standing here just... So yeah, this is... The yarn is Loops and Threads Woolike, which I told you that last time, but I completely forgot to tell you that I'm holding 3 strands together to get this. Because I have so much... I bought 3 balls of that, right? Thinking... Not even looking at the yardage. And each ball has 697 yards. And it's like light fingering weight. I'm like, what the heck am I going to do with that much yarn? So, I held 3 together for that to try and use it up. And I still have like 1.5 balls left. Like, it's like not even that. I still have more than I need. Would you stop it? You're being silly. You're just standing there wiggling. Okay. Sorry. I'm trying to get situated to where I'm not overheating myself because my heater just kicked on and the vent is like right here. And it's like blowing on me. And I'm wearing super warm, toasty clothes. Whips. Okay. Whips, I have started a lot of shawls. And we have the shawl Crochet Along coming up next week. So I'm hoping to have, I know at least one of these will be done by next week, but we'll see. Okay, so my yarn labels are right here. Okay, so this is the one I started. Oh, that's like, the colors aren't coming out right. That's like a dark blue. Hold on, let me see if I turn my brightness up. Okay, there we go. Ah, okay, much better. I couldn't see it myself because my brightness was down so low. So this is like a dark blue with pops of this beautiful like purpley pink and this bright, lovely spring green. So this is the Secret Paths shawl by Joanna Lindahl. So as you can see, it's got some nice lacy bits. Those are actually popcorn stitches. And then you have, you know, some eyelets. And it's beautiful. And the yarn I'm using is 3 Irish Girls Yarn ink. And colorway is Fly Me to the Moon. Like, how cute is that? Fly Me to the Moon? Of course. So, yeah, you can go to 3irishgirls.com and see if you can get this. I haven't actually gone to their website to see if you can buy yarn. What are you doing, silly goose? My little sickie, she got sick and then got me sick. Well, actually, I got myself sick because...
She's taking her hamburger.
Yes, I ate her hamburger, what was left of it. I took the first bite and I was like, oh, no. I'm totally going to regret this. I completely forgot that she was sick. And I ended up sick. So that's why I'm sick and kind of nasally and stuffy. So, this pattern, like I said, is the Secret Path shawl. And it is beautiful. I love it. I haven't had any problem with the pattern It's fairly easy to read and understand. The only thing is when you do the English pattern, it's with another language. So you'll have like one language and then you'll have English. One language, then English. So I don't know which one it is. I think it might be Swedish? I don't know. But yes, that's what I'm using. That's what I've started. And this is, so I started this with a 3.5 millimeter hook, and I got to about here. So I had a good size square, and then realized that, it was just going to be way too tight. It wasn't going to be drapey enough. So I ripped it all out and started it again, and used a 4 millimeter hook like they suggested, and they were using a light fingering, and this is just a fingering weight. So I did a 4, and I'm just loving the way it's turning out. I think the colors are beautiful. So that's whip number 1. Whip number 2 is another shawl. I gotta pull the yarn out so I don't rip anything out. Do I have I don't. I thought I had something on here. Oh no, I'm ripping out progress. One moment. Where's my stitch marker? I had the most beautiful stitch marker on there, which I can now not find. No, that's not it. So let me just... I know these are called progress keepers in knitting, but I totally call them stitch markers because I put them in the stitch that I'm last working on to kind of hold it, because leaving your hook in it or just pulling up a loop, sometimes it'll get caught. And...
He was crying.
I wasn't crying.
No, last weekend.
I wasn't crying, Emma. Okay, no more interruptions, please. So yeah, that's the Secret Path shawl. This next one, I'm kind of in love with. I'm really in love with. So, this next one, this is the Erigeneia by Silke Terhorst. Oh my god!
It's so
long. Excuse me. I literally started this 2 days ago. Like, that's how fast this is working up. I worked on the Secret Paths for 3 days. This is only 2 days.
It looks so beautiful.
Oh my god.
It looks so beautiful.
It is. So this is the Erigeneia pattern. And it's by Silke Terhorst. And oh my god. So this
I love this yarn.
Is the Loops and Threads Woolike. I'm holding 2 strands together. I am so trying to get rid of this yarn. I have so much of it. I'm trying to get rid of it. And it just happened to go perfectly with my La Jolla PB&J yarn. That's the colorway name, is PB&J. So these like went perfectly together. Yes. And I am just, oh my god. And they're gonna match my mittens. So I am totally loving it. I think it's so beautiful.
It's not like an hour. It's not.
My husband and my kids keep saying, Mom, that looks like giant underwear. Like when I first started. It looks like underwear. So, yes. Beautiful. Oh my god. I am totally loving these colors together. Like, I'm going to have to go find more yarn.
Too. I wish I had one.
Emma, please. And I just have another little stitch marker that I made. And the, so Loops and Threads Woolike, which I'm finally running out of, thank goodness. And then the other one is by La Jolla, and it is their PB&J colorway. So that is my second shawl. Now, I noticed on the last video where I had a lot of knitting, it got a thumbs down from someone. So if you're that person, I have some knitting too. So if you don't like it, you can fast forward to when you stop seeing knitting. So the next one is a knitted shawl. It's the Brighten My Day wrap. Let me grab it. In my little, I am totally saying this is a project bag. This is not a shopping bag. From my little Joann's bag with a cute little bear and the snowflakes. Oh, it's so cute. Okay. This is it's called a Brighten My Day wrap. Now, this is where I'm at. Right here. And I have a feeling this is going to be something you either... Emma. Shh. Quiet. Okay. This is either going to be something people either love it or hate it. I love the way it's turning out. I love the, like, random pops of that purple color. Like, it looks like it's coming out really dark, but it's actually purple. So I started this. It's the Brighten My Day wrap by Nancy J. Thomas. It's a free pattern. I believe it's through Red Heart. I love you too, Emma. And the colors I'm using are Renaissance. It's Red Heart with Love, Renaissance. And then Red Heart Super Saver and Aran Fleck. So, that's what I'm using for this. And this was actually the first one I started. I was like, I need a knit break because I crocheted so many stinking stockings. Well, I never even finished mine because I was just totally over stockings. And like I said, I was just over it. I will finish it, but not today. Not anytime this next week. Maybe I'll pick it up later. So yeah, that is my knitting project. Boop. So, and then, of course, my daughter saw it. Emma saw it, and she was like, oh, I want one. Is that mine? And I said, no, this is mine. So she was like, can I have one? So we ended up going to Joann's, and they were having a huge yarn sale. So we ended up buying a bunch of yarn, which you will see, which in the section I'm going to call yarn hoarding. I'm not going to call it acquisitions. That just sounds too businessy. It's going to be yarn hoarding because let's be honest, we're hoarding the yarn. We buy it, we hoard it. That's just what we do. Anyways, back to my whip. I bought a new pair of knitting needles because I was like, oh, I'm getting better at it. I can get some, you know, aluminum needles or whatever this is made out of, metal needles, and it'd be great. Which, okay, so this is how it's technically supposed to look, minus this big, huge white stripe. I accidentally did 4 rows instead of 2. So this is how it's technically supposed to look. It's supposed to be striped. Well, you're supposed to use striping yarn, not variegated. But you're supposed to have like a bright color, a contrast color, a bright color, a contrast color. Where mine is not contrasting at all, but that's how I wanted it. I didn't want it super contrasty. I actually like the back look of it better. Yes, I know you love it. So this is how it's supposed to look. Like I said, minus this big, huge white stripe because there was only supposed to be 2 rows of white like all the other ones, and I did 4. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. Which this pattern, if you are a beginner knitter and you have never done increases, this is a perfect project because I've done beanies, so I've done decreases. That like decreases to me seem easier than increases in. Okay, quit. They seem easier than increases in knitting. Like decreases, it just stuck in my head. I'm like, okay, You put two on your hook and you knit it together. Like, no big deal. And I was like, but how do you increase? I don't understand. So, Marley Bird has a tutorial actually on how to do this shawl, and she shows exactly how to increase, and it is super easy, guys, like super easy. But I have one complaint, and it's not with the pattern. The pattern is great, it's easy, it's awesome. It's with this stupid cable. I don't know what's going on with it. Like, it is so rigid, and it's like, I know over time it's gonna get used to being worked with, hopefully, but it curls up like this, like that. That's annoying. So when you're working, your yarn gets all caught up, and these are the, what are these? Like, I literally went to Joann's and just grabbed some needles. These are the Susan Bates circular knitting needles in 5mm in Silvalume. I don't know what the heck that means. You okay? I hate them. I love the blunt tips because I don't have to worry about splitting my yarn or anything like that. But I hate the cable. I stinking hate the cable. And I know I could easily knit this on straight needles, but I don't know. I just felt like doing circulars because I know this is supposed to get really big. Like, and I feel like if I do on straights, it's going to get really, really, really bunched up. So yes, I decided to do circulars, and I hate the circulars that I bought, so I might have to order some online. So if anybody has any tips or suggestions that isn't extremely expensive, because I'm still new to knitting and I don't want to spend a bunch of money on a hobby that I'm not even sure I'm going to continue. So affordable knitting needle suggestions are very welcome. And the yarn I'm using is Super Saver. This is the one she picked. Rainbow Neon Bright. And it is in the colorway Day Glow. Yeah. It is so bright. You know, I don't like neon colors for myself. Can't stand them. They're too bright. It hurts my eyes. And, like, looking at this, it's just, like, highlighter colors. And it drives my eyes bananas. But the good thing about this for your kids is they become a walking highlighter, so you can never lose them. So yeah. Day Glow, and then I'm just using some Big Twist Value yarn. I love Big Twist yarn. It's so soft. Even for their value yarn, it's soft. It's awesome. I love it. And it's not super expensive either. Okay, so actually, I have to move that because I have to move. Oh, sorry. Totally knocking everybody around. Okay. Now comes the fun stuff. I got so much stuff during Christmas. So this is going to be a really big haul. Like, I whipped through those whips and finished objects super quick because this is going to be the part that takes the longest, and there's so much. There's so much. So if you're not really interested in yarns or crocheting books or knitting books or anything like that, I completely understand. You have a great day. You spent almost 25 minutes with me. I hope you have a wonderful day. But if you are interested in all this stuff, continue to watch. Okay. So I'll get to, I'll do my non-yarny books because I got quite a few. And there's quite a few. Well, there's not a lot. I got a new bullet journal. I started doing bullet journaling in a journal that I made. It was actually a craft book. Or not a craft book, sketchbook that I covered in fabric, made it all pretty again. Well, I didn't do the best job with it. It was a practice one, and it started to fall apart on me, and I noticed it was really hard for me to keep everything straight because there was no dots, there was no grids, there was no nothing. It was just freehand, and I'm too impatient to sketch everything out with pencil, then go back over it with pen. Like, I'm a mom. I got 2 kids. I don't got time for that. And, yeah. So the first thing I got was a new bullet journal. This is the Rhoda, I think it's Rhoda, journal. So as you can see, I have like my little moon tracker, and I love tracking moon movements through like astrological, full moon, new moon, stuff like that, because I notice my moods correlate with it very often. Let's just say when the moon is in Aries, I am not a nice person to be around. I try, but it's hard. So yeah, I have like all this stuff, but we won't show all that. You know, just basics. So bullet journal. I do bullet journal, people, because I got to keep my life in order, and if I don't, I feel lost in a haze that we call life. So that is my first book, technically. My second one, I got this. I saw this at Michael's, and I got it half off. No, I got it. They had a 50% off coupon, so you could technically get this for like $5. Do it. It's a maker's log, so you can plan out, like you can, I don't know why I wrote with marker. I was trying out my new, what was it, like a Tombow marker. So you can plan out your different projects that you have going. You can, like the projects you're doing that week, upcoming projects. This is called Managing My Brand, which I need to start doing because I have kind of neglected my Etsy shop. I have patterns up and I'm like, we'll just leave it at that. I haven't added any new patterns. I haven't, like, I need to start working. So, and then they have this Happiness is a Warm Glue Gun, and you just write down, you know, different things you're crafting, ideas you have, a list of things you may need to buy. I'm just like loving this because, you know, yeah, crafting books you want to get, and then, you know, what you're needing, listening, wearing, following, reading, wanting, loving, making, enjoying, trying. So, and then, you know, it has just another type of list, and then, you know, you can journal whatever you're thinking, and then it starts over again. Totally loving this. This is going to be like my holy grail this year because I know I want to make more patterns, which I know I was doing the apple in my eye scarf, which I have just fallen out of love with. I just haven't wanted to pick it up. There's just so many other things that I want to do. And I started that because I was in this groove of making patterns. I made 2 hat patterns. I was like, I want to do a scarf, then a shawl. And it's just not happening. Anytime soon. It's just one of those things that I guess I don't call myself a designer. I'm not a designer. I'm just someone that when I have a pattern that I love, I write it up and put it up. Yes, it's for money because mama don't work except for her little Etsy shop. And the patterns I do make, yes, I want to make money on them. I know on the patterns I said not to sell the actual item, which I'm going to change that. I think I'm just going to do like no online patterns. Like, I don't know. I think I'm just going to change it so people can sell what they want because I haven't gotten around to do it. And so, yeah, I'm going to have to change that. So, it's like you can sell it but give the credit to me for designing it, you know, kind of business. So, yes, that's my maker's log. Next, fiction. Oh, my God. So, I was in Target, and I had a little extra of my Christmas money. I hate stickers on books. That is my #1 pet peeve, is when people put stickers on books. It's like if you're going to put a sticker on it, wrap it in freaking cellophane, and then put the sticker on. Don't ruin my book with your stupid sticker. Sorry. I am someone who loves books so much. I am the person that wants a library like they have in Beast's Castle from Beauty and the Beast. That is me. I want to be that person that has a ginormous library of beautiful, well-maintained books, all been read, but beautifully maintained. Yeah. So I saw this, and it's called Stalking Jack the Ripper, and I just saw it, and I was like, oh, that looks so amazing. And it's James Patterson presents Carrie oh my god. Hold on, let me read this. Maniscalco? I don't know. I haven't started reading it yet, but I am this is actually in the young adult section, which I don't know why this would be if it's talking about Jack the Ripper, and if James Patterson presents, which they're all like murder mysteries. I don't know why that'd be, I don't know why that'd be in young adult, but it is. I got this for like $8, $9. So I got this. It looks super interesting, and I love historical fiction, murder, mystery, fantasy. Like I said last podcast, I'm super into like the supernatural, paranormal type stuff. This doesn't necessarily fall into that category, but it kind of does because it's Jack the Ripper. It's kind of dark and stuff like that. So I'm super excited to start reading this. Next, magical aromatherapy. I love aromatherapy. Lavender is my go-to. I use lavender for everything. Even if lavender is not supposed to be used for it, I use lavender. I put lavender on bug bites. I put lavender in baths to calm down. I use lavender for diffusing, for perfume, for everything. I love lavender. But this just seems super interesting. The power of scent. Yeah. I have a diffuser, so I'm probably going to use this. There's for love, psychic awareness, prosperity, peace, happiness, protection. So that's cool. I'm super into this kind of stuff too. Like herbal remedies and stuff like that. I'm not one of those people that is like, herbal remedies can cure everything. They can't. But I am someone that will try the natural route first. If it doesn't work, medicine. Over the counter, prescription, whatever. Okay. Next one. Chakra therapy. I just thought this looked super interesting, and I love reading about different belief systems, and I believe chakras have a lot to do with the Hindu religion. I'm pretty sure it's the Hindu. I don't know if any other, maybe Buddhists, I'm not sure. But I know Hindus use chakra type. I'm pretty sure Buddhists do too. Buddhists and Hindus. But just this looks super interesting, and the idea behind there's chakras, and if you're aligned, you feel great, and So, I'm super interested in reading this, because anything to make yourself feel better spiritually, body, mental, emotional, physical, why not try it, you know? I'm up for it. Okay, that was it for random books that aren't crochet knitting related, and most of these books are vintage. I'll say vintage because they are my grandma's and she rehomed them to me. So I have quite a few. Let me get this out of the way. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books. Okay. What is this one? These first two are more, this is more like the history of crocheting and showing different, varieties of it. I don't even know if you can get this. Like, it shows the basic stitches, of course. And then it shows like some vintagey type stuff, things that have been made in like, some of this stuff, I'm not gonna lie, is a little dated, but this book was printed, or we'll look, I don't know, hold on, let's see. This was printed in 1974. Yes, very vintage. So this goes into the history of it, and so as well as this one, America's Crochet Book. Tells you about different stitches that you would use. And this one, my grandma got it in 1989 from her sister Charlotte. But it was printed in 1972. So this one has, like I said, I don't even know if you can buy these books anymore. They have like a bunch of different like stitches. They tell you different types of stitches. Like this one is the bullion stitch, but in here they call it the roll stitch. And it tells you like how to shape for jackets and sweaters and dresses, skirts. So it has a lot of useful information. So I haven't read it yet, but I will be. So like I said, vintage. Then there's this one. This is called Vanessa Ann's My Grandmother Taught Me to Crochet, which is true. My grandma taught me. And I think my grandma learned on her own. So this one does have actual patterns in it. So, like, that's actually really cute. I didn't see that one. Go to Dad. Go to Dad. Nick? Yeah. Can you let Lily out? I just did. Did you give her a treat? No, because she's working some stuff. Okay, go. Out. My dog is smart. We have a lab, and she likes to work the system where she'll go outside, and she'll stay out there just long enough so you think she went to the bathroom, and she doesn't. So this one, as you can see, has like actual patterns, shapings, and all kinds of good stuff. I don't know what that is. Oh, her grandchildren. So that's another one I got, and this one was printed. It doesn't say. I don't know why I'm singing it. Yeah, it doesn't say. But I'm pretty sure it's another book from the 70s or the 80s. Next one is my Great Christmas Crochet Book. Like I said, some of these are super dated. But the good thing about this is, like, there's a C to C. Was that C to C? No, that's Granny Score. Like, there are certain things that in these books that are vintage, but they do come back. Like, the pineapple stitch is in one of these, and it's, like, on everything. And lately, the pineapple stitches come back in crochet and different shawls and sweaters and all that stuff. This one is Gifts from the Heart. And this one, actually, I believe, is the one that had the pineapple stitch. Oh, that's super cute. Like, look at that. That is such a cute placemat for, like, for pot holders, like, for Valentine's Day. That's super cute. It's simple. I noticed, though, a lot of these, I mean, I don't think Grafgans were a thing back then, but, like, how cute is that pillow right there? Seriously, I totally make that. I think what goes out of style is color choices. I mean, yes, there are some patterns that are dated, but I feel like most of the time it's the color choices that go out of style. I feel like that's what kind of gets you. Like, this is similar to a blanket that just recently came out where it's like reversible, and one side has more color of one color and then the other side has another one, but that one has hearts and this one is more just another color, I guess. So yeah, it's color choices get outdated, I feel, more so than designs. I don't know. Either way. Now this one is one of the ones that I am not sure I will ever pick up to use. The Great Crochet Bazaar book. It's kind of like amigurumi, but oof, it smells like tobacco. My grandparents used to be smokers. There are some blankets, like here we go. Here's a pineapple stitch as an edging. So my grandpa still chews tobacco, but my grandma quit smoking. But yeah, there's just, actually now that I'm looking at this, there's more stuff in here than amigurumi. But they have like a whole mouse wedding party. It's cute, but it's not cute. So yeah, I don't know if I'll ever use that one, but yeah. So there's 3 more. 3? No. Okay. Forever Favorite Crochet. I'm trying to do the older ones first and then get to the more up-to-date ones. So you can see there's all kinds. Is that it? See, there's a pineapple stitch again. Everywhere. It's everywhere in these books. Like whole lacy bedspreads, like lacy crochet. And these are bedspreads. And that's not a small bed. If you do a crochet blanket for a bed this size in lace weight, you need a medal because that's crazy sauce. Afghans and pillows. Like here's that wavy stitch that's going around that's super big right now. Like right there. So, like I said, a lot of this stuff comes back up. So, old books don't bother me. Excuse me, I'm sorry. This one I thought was super interesting. So it's called From Needles to Hook. It basically shows you how to kind of mimic knitted things with crochet. Which some of these I'm like, not even close. Like, specifically, like, okay, that's the garter stitch. And that's what they're trying to say mimics the garter stitch. And I'm like, not quite. Yes, Emma.
Is this your hair?
Yes, that's for my hair. Go put it away. Another one is like the knit stitch. This is the knit stitch. And then they're like, oh, or stockinette. And then they're like, oh, this kind of looks like it. Skirt. Nope. No, it doesn't. So, yeah. But they had some super cute stuff in here. Like, they have miter squares. They have plaid in here, which I haven't seen done like this before. Like, it is, like, okay. Side by side. Like, that is amazing. Like, I don't even know how they do it. So, I will be using this. Like, I love how they also give, like, little blips. The history of plaid. And then they give you projects. That plaid pillow is so cute, and I will be making it. When, I don't know. But I will be making it. So, they have all kinds of, like, a pullover. They have all kinds of stuff in here. And I need to start getting more crochet books. I saw one. So, and there's certain stitches in here that I like better in crochet than knit. And then there's others where I'm like, I just prefer knitted looking. Like the stockinette. Like, there's no comparison of single crochet to stockinette. There just isn't. I'm sorry. I don't know what universe they were on where they're like, that kind of looks right. It doesn't. It doesn't look anything. It doesn't look anywhere close enough to be considered stockinette looking. So these next two are knitted books. The first one is Bernat baby blankets to knit, and here's a couple on the back. I'm totally loving this one. That is so super cute. They have all kinds of baby blankets. Here's the one where they show all of the different patterns that are in here. They have a ton, and this book is so little, so thin, but they have so many. So yeah, I'm looking forward to trying some knitted blankets because my son's still a baby. These baby blankets will still fit him. Yeah, and this next one, huge. This is a knitting one, and it is Homemaker. And I've actually looked this up. It is actually a UK. I don't know if this is a magazine or a book. Kind of seems magazine-y to me. I'm gonna say magazine because you can subscribe to getting it. So yeah, there is so many things in here. Like, oh my gosh. First thing I open up to. How beautiful is that? Yes.
Can you throw it here?
Yeah, grab it right there. All right. Like, first thing I open up to. How beautiful is that wrap? And it's called the Sadie or Sadie. There's two A's, so I don't know. Sadie. They have, oh my gosh, that's another beautiful one. Black Currant Swirl. Oh my gosh. That's one thing I love about knitting is the shapes of shawls and stuff like that is so different. Like, there's so many different shapes. Like, here's another one. I don't want to, I'm trying to hide the patterny part because I don't know if you can still buy this one, but that is beautiful. Because this is paid for, you know. So, they just have, oh, here's the other one that is super cute that I want to make for my daughter so bad. It's called the Foxtrot. How stinking cute is that sweater? Like, oh my gosh. I am not experienced enough in knitting to even try these. But I so want to try them. Like, just go for it and just go for it. Like, just do it. Here's another one that I thought was super cute. They're socks, but they're like to the knee. But I have such big legs that I don't think they would work for me. But yeah, there's so many patterns in here, and I am totally digging it. I love it, and obviously I got them for free because my grandma bought them for me. Well, she didn't buy them for me for Christmas. She rehomed them to me. Which, it was funny because I'm sitting here, I'm like, that's a book, that's a book, that's a book. And I'm like, what the hell are all these books? Like, what are these? What are these? And I had an idea, like, okay, I did ask for crochet and knit books, so that's probably what they are, but I had no idea. You know, I could guess, but I honestly had no idea. So I'm going to pop that there. You might see those. Next, yarn hoarding. The best part. Joann's had a massive sale. And the two yarns that I used for my daughter's, she's going to make a mini shawl. So as you can see, huge bag. And yes, it says Knit Happens because they don't have one that says crochet anything. And I needed a big one, and all the other ones were like super florally and just not my taste. Yeah. So they had a massive yarn sale. Massive. That most of their yarns were like $2.50 a ball, $1.99 a ball, or a skein. So Mama hopped right up on that wagon because I used a lot of my yarn for gift knitting, and I had to restock the stash, you know. So first ones I got, this is my daughter, she picked these out, was a Premier Sweet Roll, and this is the Colorway Bubble Pop. So it's this pink, gray, and white, and it's super cute. I got two of those. Adorable. And then another one, which I kind of picked, but she kind of picked at the same time. Like, she was like, oh, I want this. And I was like, well, what about this one? This is also from Premier Yarns. This is Deborah Norville Collection Serenity Chunky. And this is the Colorway Unicorn. I don't know how that says unicorn. To me, that looks like candy. Or what does that look like? That looks like candy to me. Not unicorn. The next one, another one my daughter picked out. When I go yarn shopping, I like to let her pick stuff out. So if she wants something made, I have yarn that she's already picked that I can just grab and make stuff. So this is another Serenity Chunky Premier Yarns. And this one is Ruby Slippers. And it has like these little sequins attached to it. I have no idea if I'm going to like using this yarn. Probably not. Because I hate when there's like random stuff stuck in yarn. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. A lot of this stuff is more of the, totally spacing out, economy yarn, or more, not economy, I guess it's more economic. It's not super expensive. It's very accessible. So I did get another Red Heart with Love in Renaissance because I just love this color. It is so pretty, and it is not, there we go. Beautiful. And the purple is a little more wine purple, like grape juicy. And then I got more of the Aran Fleck because I love this, and it has, how many yards is in here? 260 yards, so I have like a whole bunch. I got two of those. Let me pull both of those out because I think that's pretty. Like, I have never seen that kind before. I love that it's like a neutral. It's not white, and it's not, I mean, I guess it's kind of cream, but it's like a dark cream. Can cream be dark? I don't know. And then we got some Red Heart Super Saver stripes. This is the colorway Fruity Stripe. And I just think this is super fun. I don't know what I'm going to use this stuff for. I have no idea. I just saw it. If I liked it, I bought it. And then this is, let's see. This one is in Parrot Stripe. Super pretty. Oh my gosh. Like, the colors, there we go. That's pretty true to color right there. Except the green's a little more neon. It's not dark like that. Let's see. And then we got another stripey yarn. And this is in the color, oh, that's Parrot Stripes too. So I got two of those, but they look different. Oh well. Next is Red Heart with Love stripes, but this one is Baroque stripes. So it's like blues and purples, grays, like lilac, not lavender, lilac. It's super pretty. That's for me. I don't know what I'm gonna make with it yet. It's how many yards is that? 223. Okay. Then I got 2 balls of Big Twist Serenity, and they're speckled ones again. I don't know what it is with blues and oranges right now, but I'm totally digging it. This is called Americana Confetti. And sorry, I keep like knocking the table really hard. It's like blues and oranges, and there's a little bit like of a muddy grayish, like a grayish brown. It's more gray, but there's like a tint of brown. Like, yeah. So I got 2 of those. And then I got this bad boy right here, Serenity Chunky. And this is in Stormy. I thought this was super pretty. I love this like brushed look. Like, it's not completely all the way dyed through. Like, you can still see some white. I love it. It's super pretty. And then, okay, stay there. I got this to go with this next color. This is just a Big Twist Value yarn. This is in the color light denim. So it's just this light baby blue. And that is to go with this yarn, Big Twist Value yarn. But this is in the colorway steel denim. And it is all these blues with gray. Oh, excuse me. So that is what I got from Joann's. All this crazy amazing yarn. And literally, let's see, all this yarn with the sale, I spent $48. That's it. $48 for all this yarn. I saved $35.48. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mama made out like a bandit. And I had no shame walking up to that counter and placing all this yarn up there. Like, someone walked by me and saw my cart, which my daughter was sitting in it, and I just had yarn just piled right on top of her. And they gave me some questionable looks, like, what are you doing with your life? And I was just like, no shame in my game. You know why? Because if there's a sale, I am going to get it. Especially if it's yarn like this. This is normally like, what was it? This is normally like $6 a ball, and it was like $2.99, $3. No shame in my game. None. Next, this is the last yarny bit. My husband, it's in a box, bought me. I flat out told him, I was like, Nick, the top 3 things on my list are yarn. If you don't buy me yarn, at least 1 ball of yarn, I'm gonna be angry. I want yarn for Christmas. So he got me Wooltrum. I think it's Wooltrum. Wooltrum. This is Wooltrum. It's Melody by Wooltrum. I believe this is a German yarn. But you can buy it on Etsy from a US seller. My cat is meowing because she's fat, and I've already fed her and she's still hungry. She would eat the kitchen sink if we let her, but she's fat and she needs to lose weight. So she's kind of on a diet. So this is a card I got, Melody by Wooltrum. You can get it on Etsy. Hand tied, not hand dyed, hand tied gradient yarn. So, as I didn't realize this, like, it looks different. Like, this is what it looks like. Oh my gosh, this is Winter Wonderland number 2. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Beautiful. And there's glitter. It says glitter, but it's like it's not glitter. I don't know, maybe it's Stellina, but it's clear. So I don't know. But if you look at this yarn, it's not plied, like, or it's not twisted. It's just strands together. And look at, they give you, I got a little pony. Ooh. So I'm going to turn that into a stitch marker. But yes, this is my last yarn that I got. And this is a 250 gram ball, 750 meters. So I'm not sure how much that is in yards because, like I said, I believe this is a German yarn. It's beautiful. I could be wrong. It could not be German. It could be somewhere else. But Wooltrum, I don't know. That sounds German to me. But then, you know, I could be coming off as an ignorant American. I don't know. So yes, this was my last Christmas gift. And this is an acrylic cotton blend. This isn't wool. And pretty much everything I got was acrylic. But whatevs. I'll get my wool later, I guess. But yes, that is it. And we have hit the 1 hour mark. So I knew this was going to be a very long podcast, and if you were still here, thank you for sticking with me. I told you it was going to be a long one. So yeah, chatter. We had a great Christmas. I got tons of stuff, as you saw. That's pretty much what I got for Christmas from everybody. My dad actually sent me money, which is how I got my indie dyed yarn that you saw last week. So yes, I am a very happy girl. I got all kinds of stuff that I wanted. And today is New Year's Eve. Oh my gosh. We are going to be in 2018 tomorrow. And I am kind of a little shocked because the year went by so quickly. And I don't know if I'm ready for 2018. I'm still trying to think. I know a lot of people are doing words or phrases that they want to bring themselves into for the new year, which mine is definitely patience and not understanding, but basically just patience is the big one. I am considered a patient person, but when I lose it on a big scale, on a grand scale, I lose it. So it's definitely, I need to work on that a little more, and just sometimes the way I am, I can talk to people and I can come off a little harsh. It's just kind of who I am. Like, I'm sweet, but sometimes I can be blunt and it can come off as rude, especially to my family. So that has been something I probably need to work on in the new year. But craft-wise, my craft goals this year is to make at least 3 to 4 blankets. I started 2 last year, and I talked about them in the very first or second podcast, and I have not picked them up yet. And I have a Supernatural blanket that has the logo on it with the word Supernatural underneath in black and white, and I am dying to get to that. I also need to do my husband's Doctor Who blanket, which I haven't started. I haven't even bought yarn for. I've gotten 2 parts of the pattern done. So that is my goal, to make 3 to 4 blankets, which can take a lot of time, and especially Grafgans, you have to really focus on them because you have to read a chart, and it's very easy to get mixed up in a chart, especially when you're going row by row by row, and a lot of the rows can repeat sometimes because they just do, especially with letters. So I really want to do that, and I have a Once Upon a Time blanket that I started doing in C2C, but excuse me, but I noticed that as I was making this, I'm like, this thing is getting huge and I'm barely on the corner. So I actually have to rip all of it out and restart and do it in half double crochets. I don't do Grafgans in single crochets. I do them in half double because I feel like single crochets, it distorts the picture on edges. Excuse me. I'm really scratchy right now. And double crochets will distort it, as in it gets longer. So I feel like half doubles are perfect. It keeps the picture more square, like the squares more square. So yes, I am going to do those in half doubles. My hair is just I cut my bangs, like I said, I cut my bangs right before I did this, and they're like super choppy looking, and I need to fix them. So yeah, I have that I want to get done, and I just want to get my blankets done. I want to get them done, like, today. But that won't happen. So, what are your crafting resolutions? Do you have any New Year's resolutions? Are there ones specifically for crafting, for your life? I know I do want to try and lose some weight because now that my babies are getting a little bigger, it's time to get healthy. Sippy, sippy. Yeah, just to get healthier. I'd love to lose weight, but my main goal is to get healthy, be a healthier person, and my craft goals. So what are your goals? Let me know. I love hearing what people plan to do for the New Year's and see if they actually stick with it. I mean, I know some people that have done goals and actually stuck with them, and their goal turned out amazing in the end. But I know a lot of people, they start New Year's resolutions and never finish. So I'm in that bunch. I am definitely in that bunch. Almost every year I say I want to do this or that, and it never happens. So this year I'm keeping them simple. I'm going to do the word that I want for this year, which is going to be patience and zen. There we go. Zen. Just to be peaceful and one with yourself, I guess. Yeah. Zen. That's the way I'm going to express it. Patience and zen. Those go together perfectly, and I think that's a perfect, which is going to be hard because, like I said, this next year we're moving. I don't know when yet. I don't know where. That's the wonderful thing about the military. You never know when exactly you're moving, and you don't know exactly where you're moving, but you know you're going to be moving. So that will be a test of my patience and zen. And yeah, crafting. Craft. Get some more stuff up on Etsy because there are patterns that don't sell at all that I probably should take down. And then just because, you know, it does cost to renew every, I think it's like 3 months, which isn't a lot, but when you have like 15, 20 patterns that aren't doing so well and you keep renewing it every 3 months, it's kind of a little bit of a waste of money. So I definitely need to get back in the swing of making more patterns, some Grafgan patterns, maybe crafting my own, making just items to sell. I think that's my next step, is just making items to sell. My husband keeps telling me I should sell my shawls that I'm making at the moment, and I'm like, skirt, you're funny, because that's not happening. I paid how much for this yarn? It is not going online to be sold. They're mine. And he's like, but just think about how much money you can make on them. I'm like, yeah, but if it just so happens that someone wants to spend $100 on a shawl, I don't think so. Most people don't want to spend $100 on a shawl because of the yarn you used. So, yeah. You know, and the time you put in to craft it. So, we'll see. If I sell stuff, it's definitely not going to be very expensive unless there is a request for it, I guess. Because I feel like a lot of the more expensive wools and indie dyed yarns are wool. Yes, there are superwash that you can put in the washer and dryer, but a lot of the times most want you to hand dye it or hand wash it, and most people, I feel like, don't want to take the time to hand wash. There are some that appreciate the work and the yarn and everything like that, and they hand wash, but most, I feel like, won't. And I would hate for, you know, them to throw it in the washer and dryer. It felts, shrinks, whatever. And then I get the complaint because, well, I just did this and didn't read the label or whatever, and, you know, yeah. That tends to happen. People realize that they made a mistake and they try to somehow find someone else to blame it on. I think that's just natural human nature. Like, we don't want to take responsibility for the mistakes we make. We want to somehow blame it on someone else. But, yeah. So, I should probably stop blabbering on. But I'll probably still blabber on because that's just who I am. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Like I said, I bought indie dyed yarn. And this is totally, like, off topic. But I'm making shawls with my indie dyed yarn because I just cannot bring myself to make a pair of socks with them. Like, I want to because they're beautiful and I'd love to have a pair of warm, toasty, pretty wool socks, but I just cannot bring myself to walk on $30 yarn. Like, I just can't. I can't do it. So I'm like, they're shawls. They're going to be shawls. Even if they're small shawls to where I can just wrap it around my neck, they're shawlettes, then so be it. I can't bring myself to walk on it. I'm like, someone put so much effort and time into this yarn to make it beautiful, and I'm going to walk on it? Like, oh. And I don't understand how all these knitters can just, oh, I'm going to knit up these really fancy socks. And I'm like, ugh. Like, as now that I have it, I'm just like, I can't bring myself to do it. So, are you like that? Like, do you knit with cheaper yarn? Or is it the fancy yarn? The indie dyed yarn? So, yeah. Okay, I am really going to stop blabbering on. And I hope everyone has a safe, fun New Year. We're pretty much just going to be hanging out here. I'm probably going to cook, do some laundry, and pop a bottle of champagne at midnight and kiss my honey. And that's about it. And then go to bed. And it's 2018. So, tell me about your New Year's resolutions. I want to know. Crafty or life resolutions. Yeah. And tell me if you knit with fancy yarn for your socks to walk on. But I will see you in the new year of 2018, and I hope you guys all have a fun and safe new year. If you're in another part of the world, it may already be New Year's when you watch this. So I will see you all guys later, and thank you for sticking through with me if you have stuck through this long. So yeah, bye.